Interim King County Sheriff Patty Cole Tindall joined the Sheriff's Office in October of 2015 and comes to that position with a wide-ranging background in law enforcement, from 6 years as Director of the King County Office of Labor Relations to Internal Affairs Investigator for the county's Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention. With more eyes than ever on law enforcement across the board, Sheriff Cole Tindall embraces the opportunity to explore what works well and what changes are needed to serve the people of King County in the most effective way possible. Hi everyone, I'm Tony Ventrella. Welcome to King County Conversations. My guest today is Interim Sheriff Patty Cole Tindall. Great to meet you, first of all.
Nice to meet you.
And as people very seldom say to me, I've heard so many good things about you. Let me ask you, first of all, let's start with this. Let's start with the challenge of being sheriff, interim sheriff. You've got this balance between things that need to be done and progress you've already made. Where are you in that balance at this point?
Well, I would like to say we are on our way. And some of the early things that we wanted to focus on was communication and improved relationships. That includes with the community, with our own employees, with council, with the executive, trying to repair and improve those relationships. And in terms of communication, I'm really proud that we've been able to communicate consistently with our own employees. That was something that was always an issue. We have a number of other things that we are working on. I mean, as we all know, that there's a number, gun violence is up here in the region. Our recruitment is, finding good people who want to do this work. Sure. So we have a number of challenges ahead, and I have a great team that I'm working with. So, this is not just me. I have a great team of folks that are helping.
So as you communicate and connect with county council, other elected officials, people in government, it's also, I'm guessing, equally important, perhaps even more important, to connect with the public.
Yeah.
And what opportunities are there, though, excuse me, to deal like one-on-one or one-on with 100 with the public?
Well, one thing that we have done is we are working to become an ABLE certified organization. What ABLE stands for is Active Bystandership for Law Enforcement, and that is the duty to intervene. It's the law, but we need to train our staff how to intervene. So as part of that, we've had to engage with community. We needed 2 recommendations from community groups, so we've successfully been able to do that. But as you're talking about meeting on a more global level with our community, we'll work with our community engagement folks to set some of those meetings up. We do have regional meetings where our staff already go out and meet with community, so we'll just continue those efforts.
I know that if you ask everyone, if I talk to 10 people on 10 different streets and ask them what their number one concern is, many will say safety. Very few will say staffing issues and all that kind of stuff. And safety obviously is your number one priority too. Yeah. What do you say to those folks when there's talk of defunding and all that kind of stuff out there, or reallocating? What do you tell the public? What are you trying to do? What is your goal here?
Well, I think we need to educate the public about what that really means, about what our current funding is and what it provides for. Obviously, I'm not a supporter of defund. I mean, we basically have barely 2 pennies to rub together as it is. I will say we are very, very interested in finding new ways of doing business. So co-responder models. I mean, over time, police officers have had to respond to calls because there wasn't anybody else who was willing to do it. Now, community is saying, we don't want that anymore. We want co-responder models, reinventing what law enforcement responds to. So we are definitely in that ballpark.
If you are, as you are successful, I'm not going to say if you, as you are successful with putting that together with the co-responders, people who are experts in behavioral health, and they start coming into the program. Will that not make it easier then for you to recruit police officers? Because their jobs will be different. They'll be able to do law enforcement and not necessarily have to deal with all the other issues.
I'd like to say so, but here's the problem. Our young people don't want to do this work anymore. They just don't. And so we have, I'm pleased to say, have hired a full-time deputy recruiter to focus on just that, getting people to apply with the King County Sheriff's Office. Any qualified candidate right now has choice. They can go to any number of agencies.
Sure.
We recently have been able to offer a signing bonus for our lateral and entry-level deputies, which we didn't have prior to this year. So now we're at least on equal footing with some of our other partners in law enforcement who've been offering that. But again, it's the pool. Young people don't want to do this work. And so I think by clarifying what the roles are, that could help with our young people saying, okay, I want to get into police work because I want to help the community. I want to be of service to the community. And when we have appropriate response to people in crisis, and it's not always with somebody coming with a gun and a badge. Right. Sometimes it is that behavioral health person who can talk to them in a way that we aren't trained to do. We do our best. We work on de-escalation, and I can tell you some of our deputies are amazing in trying to talk people down. But the truth is they're not mental health professionals.
Right, right. Well, it seems to me, though, that there would be a core of young people out there somewhere who have been taught either by their parents or grandparents or neighbors the importance of community. And once you know the importance of community, then maybe you're motivated to think, oh, you know what, this would be a good.
Right.
But there's a little bit of not pushing, but you need to kind of urge them in that direction. So it's it's a little bit of salesmanship, I guess.
It really is. I mean, I think of my own 2 children, and neither one of them are interested in this line of work. I'm a public servant. My parents were both public servants. I mean, that's what I know, right? So, but it's interesting to me that the young people in my family are not choosing a career in public service.
Yeah. We're talking with Interim King County Sheriff Patty Cole Tindall. I'm Tony Ventrella, and you're watching King County TV, by the way. Now we're going to flip the cards a little bit, and you get to ask me a question, and see if I can be stumped. And frankly, I'm easy to stump. My wife does it every single day.
Oh, so you mean like a Jeopardy question?
Sure.
Because I can do that.
Good.
I very rarely can answer all the questions on Jeopardy, even though I have a master's degree. But anyway, here. What is the smallest country in the world?
Lithuania.
No.
Was I even close?
No, it's called San Marino. It's actually embedded in Italy.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. I went there with my parents when I was a youngster, teenager.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I was way off. So I'm a first one and done Jeopardy. Not only am I not the all-time champion, I'm the quickest fix they've ever done. It's been a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Patty Cole Tindall, and all I can say is I'm Tony Ventrella, and you're watching King County TV, and let's do this again.
Thank you.